Good morning, everyone. I'm still getting a lot of emails this morning and everybody wondering how I'm doing. I posted on the community page this morning on my channel my update. I don't know why you're not getting the notifications. Many are. You might need to check your status. I think you gotta kind of click the notification button. I know a lot of people are getting unsubscribed all the time. They tell me this. So if you're not getting your notifications, I don't know, maybe unsubscribe and resubscribe with notifications. I don't know what to tell you there. I also have a lot of people telling me, why am I deleting your comments? I'm not. I know that I make comments on a lot of channels, and then I can go back on my other on Celestial Voyages, and I can't see my comments either. It's like they're hidden. I don't know what to tell you about that either. That's just something YouTube's doing that I have absolutely zero control over. I don't have anybody blocked. I block people that get nasty, but then after a couple of weeks, when they realize they're blocked and just rant out or whatever, I unblock them again. Anybody can come back. Right now, there's 0 people blocked on my channel. There's no restrictions other than children. And that's just to keep from getting taken down. I have community guideline strikes that have been on my channel for over 2.5 years now, and they won't take it down. The videos are gone, but those strikes are still there. And one more strike, my channel's gone. So I have to watch my P's and Q's on what I say, what I post, just so it don't go down. I don't know why they won't take away those strikes. They've already deleted the videos, and they're very old videos. The videos weren't even bad. It was the Bitcoin link in the description box I was being tagged for. So, now, something else I would like to address. Like I said in the community page this morning, you can just come over here and read it if you did not get the link. I got a lot of responses yesterday. I got helped. Tracy came in from North Texas, just right south of me, and she really kicked in, cleaned my bed, flipped my mattress, helped me bathe. She even cut my hair for me, and I love it. I didn't realize the weight of hair on your head. She popped off quite a bit, and it really made a difference, and I just love it. But that's not really what I want to talk to you about. What I want to talk about is a bit disturbing, actually, because for the past, I would say, almost a month, I keep getting emails and questions about this subject. Comes up about once a year on my channel, that new people are coming over, and I don't know what's going on YouTube, but this keeps recycling back about every year, and it is blood over intent. I'm getting links, I'm getting questions on what do I think about this, and I've made videos about this before. So let me just cut to the chase, because I don't want to spend a lot of time here. I am much better today, but I am no means out of the woods. But at least I'm in a improving direction. The Pedialyte suggestion really just turned the page for me. And I've been dehydrated so many times. I kind of knew that, but when you hit that kind of pain level, your brain just doesn't function. Pedialyte and electrolytes were the last thing on my mind. So once I got the Pedialyte in me, it definitely turned the page for me. And bathing, oh my God, that was just incredible. But back to blood over intent, because when you start getting this many questions about it, I don't know, maybe it's ramping up on YouTube again. So let me explain to you. One, I get the question, is it real? Does it work? The answer to the question is yes, it does. Blood over intent actually works. It's It's one of the most ancient rituals ever done. But what your blood is doing there is it's creating a seal. It's an oath. It's a promise. It's a promissory note you are creating. It is a debt note that you are sealing with your blood. What does that mean? It's, like I said, it's a promissory note. It's a debt. And when you get what you ask for with the blood over intent, now you must pay the price. Your blood is nothing but a seal of a promissory note. And it can turn into a generational curse. It can't just affect you, it can affect your offspring, because they also carry that blood, especially if you have offspring after you do this. Then if you don't pay the debt, they will. So, does it work? You bet. There is life in the blood. The life is in the blood. But, again, you're creating a debt note. You're asking for something, sealing it with a promise with your blood, and there will come a time you will have to pay that price. And I don't think you realize what that price is. It will equally relate to what you've asked for. When you do this ritual, you have moved from under the law. You have moved from under grace, mercy, and faith, and you have moved into the law of equivalent exchange. You will reap what you sow. The one law of the whole universe: to get something, you must give something of equal value. You invoke karma against your own self. And I don't know what you asked for, so I don't know what the price is for that. It could be your life. It could be the life of your children. But somewhere along the line, karma's going to catch up with you. That's my warning to you. Now, if you're willing to pay those prices and you want to diddle in that black magic, by all means. To me, our written word languages and all this crap they make us sign for all the time. The word signature, it's literally the sign of nature. You sign in cursive. It's feminine. The corporation is in block letters, the Western Greek tradition. But when you sign something, you do it in cursive. All the letters are connected, and they're all curvy, like the feminine form of the fire languages. And the word curse is built right into cursive. But it's a sign of nature. Again, a promissory note, an agreement you reached between the person who give you the paper to sign and you're signing it. So blood over, and that's in the physical world, but blood over intent is in the spiritual world. And depending on what you're asking for, it could cost you your soul. Christ did this, blood over intent. When he shed his blood on the cross, his blood over the intent was the salvation of our souls. He stood in the gap to cover the law. So you were no longer under the law. The law was, his blood was on that mercy seat so that you didn't pay the penalty for your own sins. And so we moved from the law into mercy and grace. Again, that's why they call it criminal justice. There's no justice for the victims in this age, only for those who have broken the law of Aries, or those 10 commandments. But when you step into blood over intent, you've dismissed the law, and you've dismissed the faith and grace, and you're moving into a contract situation under the law of equivalent exchange. What's Crowley's thing? Do what thou will, love over law, or love over will. Of course, in Aquarius, it is do what thou will. But we're going to be peoples who are connected to our higher selves and each other in a much more significant way than we are now. So we won't even be tempted with selfishness. But it is, you reap what you sow. You've got to be willing to pay that price. Christ paid a price. And for him, it was his life. What will it be for you? I do not recommend this ritual. For that matter, I've read hundreds of thousands of rituals in these alchemy books and grimoires and necronomicons I've read over the years. And I've done a couple of sigil rituals in the past, and no blood over intent though. But even sigil rituals, which are logos, they're symbols. It's symbolic ritual. And it did work for me. But then there's also a price to pay for that under the law of equivalent exchange. To get something, I must give something. What are you willing to sacrifice? If you're going to do blood over intent, I would suggest that you include what it is you're willing to sacrifice in exchange for what you are asking for. And then apply the blood. And if it don't work, then what you are willing to sacrifice was not sufficient for the request. Just remember, people, the devil is in the details. And it's not what's there, it's what's not there. Like in the Ten Commandments, when they tell you, thou shalt have no graven images of anything in heaven or anything in earth. What they did not tell you is because in that age, only the symbols of fire and ice were allowed. And we're not allowed symbols of air and earth, but only that continuous battle of fire and ice. And they joined forces long ago, and the battle has been between those of fire and ice and those of earth and air. But we're moving to heaven on earth, which is earth and air, Aquarius and Capricorn, one age that is ruled by Saturn. Now, Aquarius' motto is I know, but I prefer the translation of I remember, because when your thalamus, Fomalhaut, thalum, triggers your pineal gland, it simultaneously triggers the hippocampus, which is your memory. And all these memories come flooding back. Even those of you who have reincarnated, those past life memories can come flooding back as well. DNA memories can come flooding back as well. So it's knowing, but it's knowing by remembering. But at the same time, Capricorn is I do. And that's a funny one. It's hard to understand what I do, because the other Earth, Taurus, and in our previous ages, it's I will. So you have the I will of Taurus and the I do of Capricorn. And these are things like we say at a marriage. It's an agreement. But when you understand the decans of Capricorn in the names of the stars, especially from the ancient Aramaic stories, it's the stories of the Jedi. And it is mind over matter, is what Capricorn is about. In Aquarius, we will open our pineal glands. We'll be born that way. We'll be in vitro opening of pineal glands. Like in Dune, when Alia was born, she was in vitro, a reverent mother. That's what Aquarius will be like. But Capricorn will be like the Jedi, to where you can move things, which you can control the force with your mind. Mind over matter. And a lot of people express these abilities today. All of this is within us. It's just as we move through the ages, our DNA turns on and off. There's no such thing as junk DNA, but just dormant. The different elements and the different status of the elements, mutable, fixed, cardinal, evoke different energies that affect the DNA. When is this going to happen? Nobody knows. A lot of what's going on now, it's all illusion. That's what Pisces is about. It's about illusion. So the masks have to come off. We will know the truth as we move into Aquarius because we will remember the truth. And to me, it's going to be a celestial event that triggers the sun. And then the sun will trigger the planets and then us. And to me, it's going to be a huge collective awakening all at one time. Again, there will be a celestial event, but it is that event that will trigger the sun. We will not be triggered by the celestial event, but we will be triggered by the solar event that occurs because of the celestial event. Now, a lot of books I have read, especially the mythos and stuff, talk about the 3 days of darkness that occur when we shift from one age to another. And it's almost like turning on and off the sun. This could possibly happen. But I can't say that for sure, that it's going to be the event we will experience will be the sun turning off for a few days. All I can tell you is that it will definitely be an event from the sun that we've never experienced and has not been recorded in our written histories that we're allowed to see anyway. Only in the mythos has this been talked about. But we're moving from the bottom. Let me take you there. Hold on. To give you a little more visual, I'm going to use the first degree Masonic Tracing board. The age of Taurus was the altar that you'll see on a lot of them that sits right here. You'll have a little altar. There's the little altar. That's represented by Taurus, or fixed earth. Here's the altar, actually, right here. And they keep the book on the altar. The altar on the checkerboard floor is represented by Taurus. And we moved from Taurus to Aries, which took us to the top of the sun pillar with Mars right here. And that was a pretty big jump. But to go from Aries to Pisces, you went from cardinal fire up here to mutable water all the way down here. That's pretty far falling. Now, as we move from Pisces into Aquarius, we're going to take a much bigger jump. We're going to move from the two pillars and the checkerboard floor to the ladder. And we move from the bottom down here halfway up the ladder. And the age of Aquarius. And it will be combined with the age of Capricorn. It is world without end, or world age without end, because Saturn rules both. So it's a kingdom not divided. All other kingdoms, Jupiter's kingdoms are divided. Mercury's kingdoms are divided. Venus's kingdoms are divided. Only Capricorn and Aquarius, Saturn's kingdoms, are not divided. They will not fall. So they are one. The two become one under the instruction of the higher self, the crown chakra, ruled by Saturn. Right now, in the age of Pisces, down here, ruled by Jupiter, we are ruled by our desires. But when we move to Aquarius up here, we will be ruled by our higher selves. Well, to be ruled by your higher self, you must be connected to your higher self. All right, I'm a bit winded now, and I feel my blood pressure going up, so I'm stopping here. I think I've answered your questions, and I'll try to field some comments later when I feel a little better. Y'all know what to do. You be the kindness. Go commit that random act of kindness wherever you can. So many of you were kind to me yesterday. I even got donations. I didn't ask for. My bills are paid. Things have been tight because I've had to dump a lot of money just on healthcare. Luckily, Bitcoin has taken off, and it exceeded my 50,000 mark and hit up to 60, which paid out for me really nicely for not investing nothing but a click on when I'm around, just a click whenever I can. Free Bitcoin mining. So that really helped out a lot. So I appreciate it. But I'm getting better. I'm on the road to healing now. I don't know how many of you, well, I guess you don't know what's really going on because a lot of you are not getting notifications. Is why I'm getting all these questions. But a lot of you know I've had dental problems. I got mugged in Las Vegas, and I had some teeth that were broken off. And when they took them out, pieces were left in. And I kept getting recurring infections, which is triggering my TMJ. And antibiotics, which trigger yeast infections. There's always a price to pay for taking something. And it just snowballed on me. And when I had dental work done, you know, you get the stitches and everything, you know you can't smoke. I don't take the medications, so I depend on the kratom and the dispensaries for the THC. But I'm not one to smoke a lot of flower. It makes me cough, which again hurts. So I use the oils, and you can't use the pen when you have the dental. So I made the mistake. I went to McDonald's and got a sweet tea and drank through a straw without even thinking about it. And it caused dry socket, which started the pain. I mean, it was excruciating. So I couldn't smoke the THC. I can't get the kratom to stay down. The pain is so bad, I'm throwing up the kratom. So I go to the dispensary to get some gummies, some edibles, and they were out of what I would normally get from my brother. And so I bought a sativa instead of an indica gummy. That's all they had. And I had a bad reaction to it. It started inducing what they call band migraines on top of the dry socket, on top of the nauseous stomach. And I literally lost my mind. Like I said, I'm dehydrated enough to know, run, get Pedialyte. But my brain wasn't functioning. All I could think of was, please let this stop, or please let me die. That's how bad it was. I actually thought I'm either my pineal gland's fixing to pop again, or I'm fixing to have an aneurysm and die, one way or the other. I didn't see a way out. I was declined that bad. That's when I reached out for help. When I started having thoughts of just clocking the hell out of here. Well, no, it's time to ask someone to come in and help me. And I knew a bath would help me, being clean would help me. And the person that reminded me of Pedialyte, and that my body first and foremost needed electrolytes. I credit that person with literally saving my life. I appreciate you all. I love you much. Go out and commit those random acts of kindness. Bank that karma, especially if you're dabbling in this blood over intent. You're going to need all the good karma you can muster. Again, you can do what you want with it. And yes, it works. But you have been warned. There is a price to pay.